Hello and welcome. I'm Tannaz and Ghanbari, your host for the very first episode of What's Next in Retail, a monthly short podcast focusing on latest news and solutions in retail, as well as personal development for ambitious professionals. My guest today is Megan Potgieter, currently working as head of merchandising with Pusateri's Fine Foods, offering premium quality products from around the globe to Canadians. Megan is known for her strong ability to develop not just food products and winning assortment strategies, but also people, building teams and inspiring them to do their very best. A brief bio about Megan's background. She started her retail career with ShopRite, largest retailer in South Africa or Africa, as head of product development for almost 8 years. She moved to Canada with her family in 2017 when she joined Pusateri, was promoted to senior category manager role right away. She then continued her adventure in retail with Loblaw Companies as director of product development and procurement. I believe during the same time, PC meal kit delivery was launched in the GTA, which was an exciting initiative, and I've been one of the early adopters and customer for that package and great product service for the value. And more recently, Megan rejoined Pusateri's Fine Foods as Director of Merchandising for Total Business, if I'm not mistaken, both fresh and grocery side. Well, that's an impressive and unique story in food retail, from strong background in product development, private label, to merchandising strategy, and now leading and optimizing a multi-million dollar P&L driving profitable growth for Pusateri's Fine Foods for, I believe, its omni-channels, so both e-commerce and in store. So very well-rounded experience in the industry, and especially invaluable having worked in very different continents, very different target markets and consumers across broad range of assignments within food retail and with some of the top performing retailers in the world. So in this very first episode, we'll be talking to Megan about her role, passion, and point of view on ways that merchandising or retail can impact people's lives, especially during these economically uncertain times that we're going through with interest rate hikes, inflation persisting, especially in food and especially in Canada, and more recently hearing about the instability in the job market above everything else. So, Megan, welcome to the show and thank you for making the time.
Thank you so much for such a lovely introduction, Tannaz. It's great to be part of the first episode. I'm on it, so I'm looking forward to our discussion today.
Awesome. I'd like to begin with what led you being here today. Megan and I met through a friend slash colleague while I was working with Well by Sobeys a couple of years ago in 2021, so mid-pandemic, and we've stayed connected ever since. She was an early subscriber to my newsletter, and I've known Megan as personally as being an inspiring leader, passionate food lover, and an ambitious retail professional. So, starting with the first question, I know you've had an amazing and exciting professional story and have worked on various interesting projects, but I'm curious to hear from you. What part of your role are you most passionate about?
I think when we think of the business we're in, and I think of my background, it's always been about giving people what they want, whether it's product development or sourcing products. Um, And at the end of the day, the part of the business that I'm involved in now most is the whole side of retail. And retail, if we think about it, really is merchandising. You're planning what journey you want your customer to go on. So from when they enter the store or explore your website online, I've always loved everything about investigating and planning that whole journey. So when we see our customers respond to it and enjoy the products that we expect them to, it may sound silly, but it's almost relatable to being liked by people. You're
Yeah.
providing you're providing them products and a service that you believe they're going to need and they're going to enjoy, and when they do, it's like someone telling you that they like you. So for me, that's the piece that I think that keeps me captured and the best reward possible. Retail just has so much energy and excitement, and it's you do it every day and you do it over again, and so it's almost like an addiction, and I enjoy every piece and every part of it, really.
That's so true. And it has been the same experience for me as well. Retail is and can be very personal, and very rewarding at the same time. And as you mentioned, merchandising is very diverse, and you have to hold a variety of functions within you, or keeping those type of different functions, supply chain, marketing, in-store executions, all in mind as you're making decision for merchandising. But which is what makes it exciting to work in. But if you were to explain to your grandma what we really do in retail, how would you describe it?
It's such a good question because I often think of it this way when explaining to anyone that I meet the first time.
Mm,
Um, my team of merchants and category managers, they really need to see the future for our customers. They're almost predicting what they need. They have to understand their needs, anticipate their needs, and then they have to bring like a variety of products and create displays to those products to support those needs.
mhm,
Um, but they also need to do a lot on the back end of the business. So they need to decide what is the price going to be of that product? How much profit will we need to make off that profit based on that cost in retail? Where does it go in the store? What's the expected sales that they'll have for the first year? And they also need to meet and build relationships with vendors and negotiate those terms. Um, so, I mean, I think in a nutshell, I like to always say that everything you see in the store
mhm,
starts with a strategy and a plan, and that comes from me and my team. So,
mhm,
I think that's the best way and the simplest way
mhm.
to describe it.
That's really the core of it, and there's a lot of work going into those beautiful assortment that you execute eventually, for sure. It's a whole long process as well, month of working cross-functionally and with the supplier partners. So it's really exciting. Okay, so third question. Tell me, who are the three people that you think of as successful? And a follow-up to that is, can you describe why very briefly?
Yeah, sure. I think success can be measured in different ways. A successful person for me is really now being a mother, anyone who's able to create a good balance in life.
Mhm,
So especially if you have a large family. So the first person that comes to mind is actually Ida Pusateri. This lady looks immaculate every single day. She's so beautiful from tip to toe. She just looks like perfection, and she has been running this company since 1995 alone.
mhm.
Her husband passed away in 1995, and she had to raise three children while doing it. So she's still in the stores every day. She's very involved. She's building displays, and her displays are the most beautiful things you've ever seen. And she's connecting with customers, and she's extremely hands on. So she's definitely the first person that comes to mind.
Mhm,
The second person is a gentleman by the name of Whitey Basson. He was
mhm,
the CEO of ShopRite, the company I worked for, so Africa's largest retailer.
mhm,
And I had the honor of working for him for many years. And he grew an 8 store chain to an international retail conglomerate of a revenue over 150 billion. So he's just the wisest, most clever man I've ever met. And
mhm,
he had to be on my sort of top three.
mhm,
And then the third person is actually my husband. So he's always someone that's chased his dream. He played professional rugby in South Africa, which set him back in his financial studies, and then not only entered the workforce late, but as a new immigrant to Canada, it was considered to have no work experience. So he started from
mhm.
the ground up very late in life, and within a few years and hard work is now in a position that he had originally aspired to be in. So he's the third person I would say is the most successful, and he's balancing our family life as well. So he had to be on there.
That's awesome. That's such a balancing way to describe success. So I love that. The first example you gave, beautiful inside and out, motivating and probably a mentor as you're working with her. And your husband was more like perseverance comes to mind and
Yeah.
conscientiousness. It takes a lot to build up a whole life and career in a completely new country. So I can certainly relate to that. Appreciate you sharing that personal experience. Okay, so the fourth question I wanted to ask you is a little longer, but I hope it sounds simple. With the current economic uncertainty, as I briefly explained earlier, and the elevated food prices, how do you really think how do you really see the role of retailers, and especially for a retailer like Pusateri that is more focused on the more premium and high quality side of the market? How do you think we or Pusateri can help people navigate these difficult times?
Yeah, it's definitely, an extremely tough time. I think we can all relate to it. And the shopping behaviors is a lot more unique, I would say, this year. It's definitely changed over the last year. And we see that with every holiday and with every occasion. But one of our goals is to really provide value to our customers. It's not a new goal, but I think it's more predominant nowadays. Customers want to feel like whatever they're buying, whatever cent they're spending, it needs to be of value.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll continue to provide high quality products and exclusive products. We've got a more reasonable pricing strategy, I would say. We're never going to be the cheapest ones in the market because
Mm-hmm.
of the quality that we provide. So we want customers to know that when they buy an apple from Pusateri's, that because the quality is superior and that our buying practices are unique and above any other big box retailer, you're going to pay more, yes, maybe slightly, but it's going to last you twice as long. So that apple won't expire as quickly as an apple from down the road. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the second piece is really to just create an emotional connection with our customers and our brand. So when you experience service, in my opinion, when you have like a good experience anywhere, you naturally want to go back to that place. So I
Mm-hmm.
think by continuing to do that and elevating that service level will drive the loyalty that we need and provide the customers the value that they need.
Beautifully said. It looks like I like the way how you're bringing focus to value and quality as opposed to cheap, because not necessarily every consumer segment, especially, looking for cheaper prices, but they're looking for more value items that are bringing the quality and kind of justifying that price point.
Mm.
And when you do that, and I'm hearing and seeing at Pusateri consistently, that kind of builds the trust with the customers, and in the long run, like you mentioned, creates that emotional connection and long-term loyalty. Beautifully said. All right, a little bit more fun question. I know you are a food lover. What purchase of any food product has pleasantly surprised you lately?
Oh my goodness. So I'm a massive foodie. So I won't even think to do a non-food item. But I'm totally into the beverage category. I have been for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because it's changed so dramatically. When we were kids, as you know, we drank Coca-Cola. And I think for a more affordable drink, you would drink a soda stream Coca-Cola. So
Yeah,
you'd make it yourself at home.
and you feel
And
better about it. Yeah.
everything was packed with sugars. And
Mm-hmm.
so being in the industry that we are and being first to market with most products, I've really enjoyed and more involved in center grocery now as well. I really enjoyed trying all the latest new alternative beverages on the market. And the newest product that I'm obsessed with, and you can ask anyone that works with me,
Mm-hmm.
um, I totally advocate this product, but I typically don't drink coconut water at all. And
Mm-hmm.
we recently launched a coconut water that is just fantastic. It's called Coaqua, and the brand
Cool.
actually,
Do you mind spelling that?
yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
Coaqua. And the brand
Mm.
actually classifies it on their website as the best tasting coconut water, and they're spot on. And anyone that tries this product is obsessed. It was created by two friends, Justin and Tony. They're from the US, and they're
Mm-hmm.
great. They're young guys, and they were looking for just something that tasted better and provided just a healthier, a healthier
Better for
alternative to
you.
what's on the
Yeah.
market, better for you. Yeah. So they get their coconuts from Vietnam, and I think they're smaller and they're
Mm.
greener, but they're just super sweet, and it just tastes like nothing I've ever had.
Mm.
And you can find it at any of our locations. It sells out pretty fast, so I'm
I am
obsessed with this
certainly
product.
going to. I'm totally trying this. I'm obsessed with coconut water. It's a staple in my fridge during the whole summer. So certainly I'll be picking it at Pusateri. Thanks for that recommendation. It's also really nice to know the beautiful story behind the brand you just shared, which makes the whole experience a little bit more even meaningful when you try a new product. Last question. You're a busy businesswoman with many responsibilities that probably consume your energy and focus and time throughout the day. What kind of activities help you unwind at the end of a long day or during the weekend? Or to rephrase that, what brings you joy in the form of an activity or way of being? Way of being.
Well, I'm quite a simple person when it comes to relaxing. Um, I have a 3-year-old, so typically my husband
Mm,
and I spend any free time doing whatever he wants to do.
mhm,
So that brings us a lot of joy. So whatever he's happy doing, we're happy doing. But to keep the stress levels down, I enjoy going for a nice outdoor run. And on
mhm,
the weekends, really just getting out of the city as much as possible. I'm more of a nature lover than a city girl.
mhm.
So any vineyard or mountain or ocean will make me happy and calm.
So that sounds really, really fun. Well, that wraps my questions, Megan. Short and sweet. Is there anything else, any advice, comment, point of view, anything you'd like to leave the audience with as a final word?
No, I'm just really grateful to be the first guest on your podcast, and I really enjoy your newsletters. I get a lot of interesting insights. You summarize everything in the market quite nicely for me, so I really enjoy reading them, and I hope that your other readers get just as much joy.
Yeah, thank you so much for saying that. Appreciate you. Well, that was all of the questions and the comments. Thanks again for making the time. This was really fun, and I hope to do this again sometime in the future. Thank you so much, Megan.
Bye.